Fatima. Hello students, here Himali Shah. Today we are going to see the unit number 2, Introduction to Android. So in today's session we will see the Android project framework we have already seen in detail. So before we start our first application, Hello World application, it's time to understand the Android project framework and examine all the parts to make the everything work. Okay, so first note the various files and folders in the Project Explorer that make up the Android project. So this is the SRC Gen, that is Generation Android 4.0 library, assets, bean, Android manifest dot manifest dot xml. So these are the main important files and folders. So let's see detail. We will see later. Now this is about the Android project overview. So in the project Android Studio, it contains the everything that defines our workspace for the application from source and the asset to the test the code to build the configurations. So when you start your new project, the Android Studio creates the necessary structure for all the files and make them the visible to the project window on the left hand side to the IDE. So you have to click on view, then tool windows, and then project. So this page will be provide the overview of the components. First let's see, these are the modules. So what does it mean? So module is the collection of source file that is build the settings that allows to divide in the project into the discrete units and the functionalities. So your project can have the one or multiple modules, and one module may be used in another module as in the dependency. Okay, so each module can be independently built, tested, and debugged. Additional modules are often useful when the creating the code libraries within the own projects, or the when you want to create the different sets of the code. And the research for the different device types such as the phones, wearables, but keep all the files scope with the same project and the share some code. Okay, so you can add the new module in your project by clicking the file, new, and new module. Okay, so Android Studio offers the distinct types of the module. First, that is the phone and tablet module, Wear OS module, then Android TV module, and a glass module. So it provides a container for your application source code, resource files, and the application level settings such as the module level, build file, and the Android manifest file. So when you create a new project, it defaults the module name is app. So in create a new module window, Android Studio offers these modules. Among them you can select any one, right? So now the feature module. Feature module, that is the represent the modular that is the features of your applications that can be have the advantage of the feature delivery. So for example, the feature modules, you can provide the users with the certain features of your applications on demand or an instance experience through the Google Play instant, right? So this is about the feature module. Now let's see about the library module. So it provides a container for the reusable code, and which is used to use which can be used to dependent on the other application modules. So we can import into the other projects. Structurally, our library module is same as it is the app module, but when it built, it create a code that is archive a file instead of the apk. Okay, so that will be create a new module. So here mainly there are two types of the library modules. First, that is the Android library, and second, that is the Java library. So this type of the library can be contain all the files types supported into the projects, that is including the source code, resource file and manifest files. Okay, so but the built result is the Android archive, that is the AAR, that you can add as a dependency for your Android application modules. Okay, so this is about the Android library. Now let's see about the Java library. So this type of the library can contains only the Java source files. The build result is the Java archive, that file, that is the JAR. You have already heard JAR file in Java, right? So you can add the dependency for the Android application modules or the other Java projects. Okay, so here the library module is there. Now let's see about the Google Cloud module. So that is provide a container for your Google Cloud backbone code. This module has the required the Google code dependency for the Java application engine backbone, right? That uses the simple HTTP, cloud endpoints and cloud messaging to the connect to your application. So you can develop your backbone to provide the cloud services to your application needs. So using Android Studio to develop your Google Cloud mode, let's see your you can manage application code and the backend code in the same project. Okay, so you can also run and test your backend code locally and use the Android Studio to deploy your Google Form module. Okay, so these are the most important modules. First you have to keep in mind Android app module, then feature module, then library module, and then the Google Cloud module, right? So this is about the Android project overview, right? Now let's see how we can create the Android library. Okay, so create an Android library. Android library is structurally same as the Android module, right? Android app module. It can be include the everything needed, but on the application that can be include the source code, resource files, and the Android manifest. However, it compile into the APK that runs on the device. Android library compiles into the Android archive, that is the ARR file, right? That is you can use as a dependency for the Android app module. Okay, so unlike the Java files, JR files, AR files offers the following functionality. First, that is it contains the Android resource, right, and the manifest file. Okay, so this is share the resource like a layout drawable in additional to Java classes and the methods. Drawable, that means what? Whenever you are going to add some images or something else, then first you have to uh, store in the drawable folder, right? Then and then you can refer it. Okay, now AR file can contain the C++ libraries for the use of the app modules C++ code, right? Now the library modules is useful when you are building the multiple apps that use the sum of the same components, such as the activity, services, or user interface layouts, right? So when you are building an application that exists in the multiple APK variations, such as the free and paid version, and you need to same core components in the both, right? In either case, simply move the files you want to reuse into the library module, then add the libraries as the dependency for the each application module, right? So first create a module, library module. Okay, so to use the new library modules, it follows. First you have to select the file, then new module. Okay, so you can create a new module window with the appearance the Android library and then click next. Okay, so whenever you are going to click on next, then give your library name, select as a minimum SDK version for the code in the library, then click on the finished. Okay, so how we can, once the Gradle the project synchronize complete, the library module appears in the project panel on the left. So if you don't see the new module folder, make sure it's a displaying the Android view. Okay, now let's see the convert the application module to the library module. So first you need to open the module level, that is a build.gradle file, right? Then delete the line for the application ID. Only the Android application module can be defined this. Okay, so at the top of the file you should see this com.android.application, right? Then change the following, apply the plugin com.android.library. Okay, then save this file and click on the file.save synchronize project with the Gradle files. Okay, so how you can create the files here, that you can consider. Now when you want to build the R files, then select the library modules in the project window and then click the build to build APK. Okay, so now to add your library as a dependency, you have to click on the file, then new module, then click the import.jar file, then a .ar package, then click next. Then you can enter the location of compile R and jar file and then click on the finish. So you will see this like, okay, so now let's see how we can synchronize the project with the Gradle files. So in this example, above in implementation configurations, adds the library's name my library module as a build dependency on the entire application module. Okay, so if you instead want to the library only for the specific build variant, okay, so you know about the build variant, that is instead of the implementation use the build variant name implementation, right? For example, you want to add or you want to include the libraries on only in the your pro product flavor, then you it look like this product flavors, then pro, then dependency pro implementation project, that is the my library module. Okay, so any code and the resource in the Android library is only accessible to your application module, and the library R file is the bundled into the your APK at the build time. Okay, so however, if you want to share your R file separately, then you can find it the project name slash module name slash build slash output slash R. Okay, and you can generate regenerate it by clicking on the build make project. Okay, so now choose the resource to make the public. All the resource in the library default to public. To make all the resources implicitly private, you must define at least one specific attribute as public. So resources include all the files your project's resource directory such as the images. So to prevent the users of your library from the accessing the resources, instead that is intended only for the internal use. Okay, so you should use this automatic private designations mechanism by the declaring one or more public resources. So alternately, you can make all the resources private by adding an empty. Okay, so tag which makes nothing as a public and which makes everything else the private. Okay, so how to declare the public resource, we have to add the public declaration and to into your libraries public.xml file is there. So if you haven't added the public resources before, you need to create the public.xml file, then resource that values directory of your libraries. Okay, so following examples are mylib underscore public underscore string is there. So in this resource you can add your libraries resource name. Okay, so you can write down like this: public name equal to mylib underscore app underscore name, and the type that is a string. Okay, and the public name mylib underscore public underscore string, then type equal to string. So this is about the choose the resource to make it public, right? And you should make the public any resources that you want to remain the visible to the developers using your libraries. Okay, so when you are going to build a library, then Android Gradle plugin gets the public resource definition and extract them into the public.txt file, which is packaged into the R file. Okay, so now the development consideration, the library modules. So for that, first point, that is the resource merge conflicts, and second, that is the in multi-module builds, the jar dependency are treated as the transitive dependency. Third, that is the library module can depends on the external jar file, and then the app module mean SDK version must be equal to greater than version defined by the library. Each library modules creates its own R class, right? R class, what is R class, we will see later. Library modules may include on the pro, these are the very in detail, right? So we will see later, these are the chapters also cover in the chapters also. Now you have to include the R file may include the one or more the following option entries, that is the classes.jar, then resource r.text, public.text, asset, library.name.jar, then the ABI underscore name, that is the Android supported ABIs, right? Then proguard.txt, then lint.jar, then api.jar, then prefab or exporting the native libraries. So these are the mainly files which are included into the R files, right? So this is about the uh, libraries, how we can create the Android libraries. Okay, now let's see the about the set up the contiguous integrations. So contiguous integration system let you automatically build and the test your applications every time you check in the updates to your resource control system. So you can use any contiguous integrations tool that can be initiate the Gradle build to build your Android Studio projects, right? So now to run the test as a part of the build, you need to either the configure your contiguous integration server to use the Android emulator, or use the Firebase test lab to the run the tests, right? So this is about the setup the contiguous integrations. Uh, this is the deep idea how we can create the Android libraries and set up the contiguous integrations. Okay, so hope you understand this topic, right? So create an Android library, then create library modules, then how we can create it, then add your library as a dependency, then choose the resource to make it public, then development consideration for the library modules. uh, so these are the most important things. Yes, Our file may include the one or more following entries like classes, res resource, r.txt file, public.txt asset, libraries, name.jar, gnibdi.nnameso, then proga text, then lint.jar, api.jar, then prefab for exporting the all the native libraries. Okay, so today's topic, how we can create the Android libraries. So we will see in the next lecture how we can include or how we can make the application, first Android application, hello world. Okay, hope you understand this topic. Thank you.